Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. And in today's video I think I'm going to talk about electric cars. Why I feel like electric cars are losing it within this industry, the online taxi industry, Bolt, Uber and other apps. Why electric cars are failing. Because if you are very keen, around January we had a lot of electric cars. Mostly January, February and March we had a lot of them. But today when you are running around within the city, you will just see a few of them. There are not so many. We used to have Nita, and also there is another company with the smaller ones, the green ones. But of late, drivers are returning these cars. So let's take a closer look on why are they failing in the industry, while the industry is also paying. Where are they going wrong? Why is electric cars failing to get it right? Hello guys, if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel. And here we upload videos almost every day, every week. And I think if you are ready to hustle, to overcome challenges within the businesses and also life in general, I think this is the best place to be. Please subscribe to our channel and also give us a like. Leave us a comment on what you think we should change, or a topic you think we should also look on. So first of all, electric cars, I said it in the last video, but that they are good because the service is not there. They have some few service. You will go for the service in few occasions compared to this one. These are the cars, they have a lot of service, oil service, engine service, gearbox, so many things. But with electric cars, it's just a small thing there. But with electric cars, they don't have too much service, but you will go for their service. I think you will go once in a while. But let's look at it. Where are they failing? Why are they failing? Why drivers are returning these cars if they are good? So number one, the companies that came with these cars have failed to sell them to Kenyans. I think it is because they feel like maintaining it and also to get the spares will be tough for Kenyans. I don't know, but they have failed to sell them. Also, selling them is not easy because these cars are zero mileage. Since these cars are zero mileage, a zero mileage comes with a higher tax compared to these second-hand ones. So that makes it expensive for Kenyans. As a Kenyan, you will feel like it is expensive to buy a second-hand, a new car, a zero mileage car, because a zero mileage will be a double of a ex-Japan car. So that makes it difficult for them to sell. So Kenyans feel like that the 1.4 is a price for two cars. So that's why at some point the companies are not selling them, because Kenyans are not ready to buy them. But I think if it is beneficial, Kenyans will buy them. So it is the companies that are not ready to sell them. Number two, spares and service. I don't think we have a lot of service centers, and also a lot of mechanics who understand these cars very well. So if the problem is with the mechanics, we don't have enough mechanics who can work on these cars. That means if you buy it, you will not get a fundi that close. So that makes it so difficult. Let's say you live in Ruiru and you have a car that you want to repair. You want it repaired, but the service center for this car is along Mombasa Road or even Ngong Road. The distance will be far from where you live, and maybe the car cannot move. That means you will have to carry that car with a breakdown to Ngong Road or Mombasa Road. And that will also come with another expense. So that makes these cars a little bit expensive. Number 3 is also about the prices. They gave them to the drivers. Yes, they gave them to these cars to the drivers. And drivers, I was told these cars, you will have to give a return of roughly 4,000 or 3. So let's talk of 3. This car, we said they save on fuels because you will go for 100 and something kilometers with a fast charge, one charge. Let's say 120 with your fast charge. 120, maybe you charge it at 800, less than 1,000. It's less than 1,000. And 120 kilometers on Bolt, maybe you will work for roughly, I don't know, 3,000 or what. But let's talk of fast charge that will take you for 120 kilometers. So these cars, they are only beneficial when there is a business. But sometimes in this business, the business becomes very tough at some point. To an extent, you go home with nothing. You fuel the car and you have nothing after spending 15 or even more hours on the road. Mostly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So the question is, how will you get 4,000 when the business is low? Because when you fuel these cars, like the ones that we are using that uses fuel, if you fuel this car, sometimes if the business is low, you will use fuel worth 1,000 shillings. But with 1,000 shilling fuel, maybe you will take home maybe 500. So with electric cars, if the daily return is 4,000, a daily return is 4,000, how will you recover that money the following day? If the business is low today, then tomorrow we'll be coming back to fight again. How will you recover 8,000 in 2 days? That makes it difficult. That price is very high when the business is low. When the business is good, you can. It's possible sometimes. But what happens? Because on someone who is using a common car, a common petrol car, when the business is low, because the return is around 1,500, 13 to 1,500 Kenya shillings. That means when the business is low, tomorrow, you may fail to pay the owner today, but tomorrow, you will have to pay 3,000, which is also friendly. It's a pocket friendly. 3,000 you can manage. 4,500 for the 3 days, sometimes you can manage when the business is good. But what about someone who is going for 12,000 in 3 days? It is very, very difficult for that amount if the business is low. Let's say you have saved money on charging the car. But what about when the business is low? You will go back with your electric, with the battery when the battery is full. But tomorrow you have a lot of work to do. Plus, when you are chasing that chance to double the day so that you can pay the company, the owners, you will also need a battery with a bigger capacity so that you will spend more hours on the road. So you need more time to recover the yesterday's income. That makes it more difficult. It becomes very difficult if the car is doing 120 or 150. So let's say you choose to work with every app until the hours are done, because every app gives you 15 hours. Uber 15, Bolt 15. So let's say since you have a target, you want to recover yesterday's money and also to pay today's money, you will just use one app. Maybe you use Bolt first. When 15 hours Bolt time are gone, you now start with Uber. That means you will be out for 30 hours. For some people, they do it. But the question is, this car will also, you will also spend some 4 hours going back to charge it, because you cannot spend 30 hours only with a 120 kilometers. So you will have to go back and charge again. At some point also, you will find a ride along this, a ride going to Machakos. But on checking on your battery capacity, you will realize that this battery will not take you to Machakos and bringing you back to Nairobi so that you can charge, because you only charge in Nairobi or in your house. Some of them are being charged in the house, but your house is far. That means you will leave that job and go back home and charge. Charging will take another 4 hours. You understand? So this makes it more difficult. I think if they want things to work well, I think they will need to work on some few things that also will make the cars more expensive, because they are already expensive. We can't afford them. I think we are on number 3 or 4. So number 4, let's talk of, we have talked of spares. We are on number 4. Number 4, we are going to talk about battery capacity. The battery capacity, these cars has a very, very small capacity. Since the capacity is very small, with this job, mostly it's 200, 250. So if you want an electric car, you should have a 300. Maybe 300 will be the best ever, because 300 kilometers, that means you will go home with some. If the business is good, you will go back home with 50 or even 80 sometimes. But it will make the business very easy for you, because sometimes in this business you spend more time working. But with the 120, you will be working, going back to charge, working, going back to charge when you decide to spend more time. So they should work on that. Number 5, also about deposit. My friend, we have companies like Haki, you understand? Ndai Africa. We have SACCOs that are giving loans, car loans, at an affordable prices. But you want to tell me to deposit 100,000 so that I can have a car. Well, there is someone who has a common car, a fuel car, who is also giving it for free. All I have to do is to give the 1,500 that he is expecting from me, to give a return of 1,500 shillings, 1,500 Kenya shillings only. But the guy, we will not just negotiate on how the deal will work, and he will give me the car for free. So why am I depositing 100,000 or even 50,000? Also, we have companies like Haki that sometimes give loans on offer. Sometimes Haki even give cars at 50,000. So unakuja tu huku, you just fight for, maybe the price, the monthly payment will be high, the daily payment will be high, but it's better. You better go for that instead of going for someone's car that you are not going to own, and you deposit 100,000. 100,000 in this economy is a lot of money, and it can do wonders. It can give you a business that will give you another return. So deposit of 100,000, I think that is also another bullshit, another nonsense that make these companies fail. Because you cannot give 100,000 to someone so that you can work for him. How? How is that possible? It is impossible. So that makes it difficult. I better go for someone's car and everything will work well. We will just negotiate about the deal, how I will pay, and I have to keep the discipline of paying him every day, and everything is sorted. Also, these companies, since your deposit is there, You cannot negotiate when the business is low. If you pick someone's car, a common car, a fuel, petrol car, you can negotiate with the owner and tell him, boss, for the past 3 days, the business is not well, but I will pay 2 days. Please find a way and on how we are going to work on the 1 day. Please let me find a way of paying the 2 days. With someone, a good person will understand you, but it is not something that you will do every day. But you will negotiate, and the owner of the car will understand you. What about the company? They have your 100,000 that they are claiming that they will return in future. That means if you fail to pay when the business is low, they will go for that 100,000 and cut a piece of it. So by the end of the day, by the time you are leaving, you will have nothing. So this makes this business very, very tough. Electric cars are failing because of some small things. Also, charging stations. They don't have a lot of charging stations. Along Thika Road to Thika, I think I've seen only one. Somewhere around Quiver, Garden City. Other ones, I think, are somewhere around CBD, Westlands, and even Ngong Road. So the charging centers are very, very low. The moment you are in Thika, you will not find a charging station. So that makes it also difficult to survive with this car, because you will need a charging station. But by going for a charging, you will come from Thika maybe to town or to Garden City. So that also makes it very difficult. Charging duration. Imagine you are already at work, then you are going to relax somewhere for another 4 hours to charge the car. Or even if it's 2 hours to charge the car, while others are continuing to work. Let's say you want to work during the day, or you want to work overnight. Your plan is to work the whole day, maybe from 7 to maybe 8 p.m., 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Then the business goes well, and by around 2 p.m., the car needs to be charged. By 2 p.m. or even 4 p.m. By 4 p.m., that's the rush hour when people are coming from work. That's when you expect yourself to work more. Then someone is telling you to take a break for 4 hours during rush hour. Then you will start the business at 6. And your plan was to go home at 8 p.m. That makes it difficult, very, very difficult for these cars to excel in this business. The business is very tough, and working with the company makes it more difficult. So for electric cars to excel, number one, they must have charging centers enough, just like petrol. In fact, if possible, every petrol station should have charging centers. Another thing, spares. Also, they should recruit our common fundis, common mechanics, or have enough mechanics around. And also spares available. So they should have some more shops around the town, so that people will be accessing enough mechanics and also spares at affordable price or close to home. Also, they should work on, I think, charging system. Charging stations I've talked about. Charging stations. Without charging stations, nothing will work. You can charge it at home, yes. How far is your home? You are in Kabiri and you are living in Kasarani, or you are in Kikuyu living in Kasarani. So you have to come from Kikuyu to Kasarani to charge that car. Sometimes you may complain that you should also set a ride towards your destination. What if you don't get that ride? Because nowadays it is very tough to get such rides. What will you do? So this makes business very tough, and this makes electric cars failing. Most drivers had to return them for the prices. What you are giving every day is a lot of money. You cannot, I mean, this business every day, I don't think you can manage. I don't think you can manage, even if you calculate what I spent here on fuel plus what I get as a profit, it will be very tough, because Bolt is not all just about you. They have other drivers, so they will not wait for you because you have an electric car. So this make it very difficult for electric cars. Hello guys, please, this is my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, and also give us a feedback on what you think can be changed, what you want us to talk about, and thank you for your support.